are watching a Wascom Film Productions documentary.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum, habemus papam, habemus papam, habemus papam, habemus papam.
A new pope has entered the Vatican, a pope from the Americas, specifically the United States of America, an election that people thought would never turn out the way it did. The good election.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buona Pasqua.
This was Pope Francis' last Easter message before he passed away the next morning on Monday, April 21st, which was Easter Monday. Here is a statement from the Vatican. The death of Pope Francis brings the conclave that started May 7th to elect a new pope. To elect a new pope, the cardinals who are allowed to vote have to be under 80 years old. They also have to have 2/3 majority of the cardinal votes to become pope. Some of the contenders are Luis Antonio Tagle from the Philippines, Pietro Pollan from Italy, and Chicago's very own Robert Prevost.
Habemus papam. Cardinalem Prevost, qui sibi nomen imposuit Leonem XIV.
Pope Leo XIV, also known as Robert Francis Prevost, was born in the south side of Chicago on September 14, 1955, and he is the head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City. Yes, you heard that correctly. An American is a sovereign of another state. How did this happen? Well, it was a very long journey for him, but God's journey for him.
Et benedictio Dei omnipotentis, Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti, descendat super vos et maneat semper.
Pope Leo XIV's journey that God granted him started in 1977 when he became a friar for the Order of St. Augustine. And then in 1982 he was ordained a priest. He earned a Doctor of Canon Law degree in 1987 from St. Thomas of Aquin in Rome. He also did a whole bunch of missionary work in Peru in the 1980s and the 1990s.
You are watching a Wascom Film Productions documentary.
Hi, welcome to Wascom Film Productions, run and managed by me, Keelan Wascom. I would love to help produce other people's films on top of my own, so that's why I created this business. Now you see, I'm an artist, not a businessman. I believe art should not be run by the corporate people. Corporations can go be somewhere else. where corporations make sense, but in art, it doesn't mix. So come along to Wascom Film Productions, slide into my DMs, or we can connect in person. I'm down here in Galveston, and I cannot wait to see more film artists in Texas. Thank you, and now let's get back to the show. Pope Leo XIV spent from 2001 to 2013 in Rome and traveled extensively as a part of his work, including to the order of many provinces and missions around the world. He then returned to Peru as a bishop from 2015 to 2023, when he became a Peruvian citizen there. In 2023, Pope Francis appointed him to become a dicastery for bishops in Rome. So he went back to Rome, and as he went back to Rome, once he got there, he was made a cardinal. Fast forward to 2025, where Pope Francis passed away at 88 from complications of old age with other things. Pope Francis was a pope from 2013 to 2025 from Argentina, the first pope from the Americas, and a Jesuit pope, like earlier mentioned. I remember May 8th, 2025, and I also remember April 21st, 2025, but I'm going to focus on May 8th, 2025. On May 8th, 2025, I was at my college, my journalism class, and I already covered the Pope Francis death, but then the election was happening, and I asked my professor if I could cover the next pope if the election would happen today, the result would happen today, and it did. And I remember it was so exciting. There was so much excitement. There was hope. And the reason why I say there was hope is because when President Trump got elected, only 6 months prior to Pope Leo's election, the world felt numb because everyone's like, oh no, President Trump's elected. At least a lot of the world thought that, and about half of America felt that. And especially where I lived and across other blue states, it was heavily felt. There was this depression. But that changed. There was a sense of hope that there's an actual American leader that could lead the world in a good way. And that is Pope Leo XIV. 5/8/2025 was the good election. Thank you for watching episode 1. Come back for episode 2 and a possible episode 3. Thank you very much, and see you again.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum, habemus papam, habemus papam,
Habemus Papam.
A new pope has entered the Vatican, a pope from the Americas, specifically the United States of America, an election that people thought would never turn out the way it did. The good election,